we will win.
There is hope, there is hope. Don't despair because there is hope.
We shall overcome, we shall overcome. This phobia they have towards us.
If we come together and fight for our rights, we shall overcome. Cause there is hope.
But the
LGBTQ plus refugees have been facing a lot of attacks, brutal attacks, since 2014, when we first had a group living in Kakuma Refugee Camp. Since this year started alone, just this year, 2021, several attacks have taken place, including refugees being set on fire by homophobic refugees. Many have been beaten, raped, sexually harassed in the camp by homophobic refugees within the camp, as well as natives from the Turkana area where the camp is located. You must know that last year we lost an infant refugee at about 5 months old who died from effects of tear gas. About 3 weeks ago, another child was stoned in the back when the attackers came onto LGBTQ refugees. The little child was being carried by her parent on her back, and then the homophobes threw a stone and it hit the child's back. We've had so many survivors of these attacks. A lot of them have endured serious injuries. They are all survivors of vicious attacks at Block 13 at the hands of fellow refugees. They are victims of police brutality at the hands of the very police that should be protecting them in the camp. And also in terms of receiving services, accessing services in Kakuma Camp. LGBTQ refugees actually face discrimination and are treated without dignity. Many times we have had to take them to private hospitals where we have to pay a little money that some of you actually contribute to on our fundraising efforts. However, today we had all the hospitals around Kakuma Camp saying that they cannot treat the victims that we have. Block 13, I welcome you to the show.
Thank you, Victor. Hello, everyone. My name is Gilbert Kagarura, and I'm on Block 13 with some members of Block 13. We are here to give you an update on what is happening. What you're hearing in the background are strong winds, but those are the least of our worries. Most of our worries stem from the attacks. One like that happened last night. Last night, while the LGBTQI family and our children were sleeping, homophobic attackers set us up on fire and left two with severe burn injuries, almost on their entire bodies. These require immediate airlift. This is not an isolated incident. This comes on the heels of 12 months of intense homophobic attacks, in which the LGBTQ plus refugees have been set on fire, raped, beaten, cut open, causing massive injuries, serious fractures, and heavy blood loss. While UNHCR has previously admitted that Kakuma is not safe for the LGBTQ plus refugees, and has gone on to evacuate our predecessors in 2018 and 2019. Some of those that were evacuated were subsequently returned to the camp, a grave mistake and misstep by UNHCR. So we call upon the UNHCR to immediately rectify this huge, costly mistake. This grave and huge mistake, and evacuate all the LGBTQ plus survivors from Kakuma Refugee Camp. We have 3 demands that we make of the UNHCR for our safety. Demand number 1, we demand that UNHCR airlifts the 2 severely burned victims from last night's homophobic attack on Block 13 to Nairobi for treatment today, the March 15th. We demand that UNHCR transfer the entire LGBTQ Block 13 group that is at risk to the transit center today, Monday, March 15th, and provide us with highly accountable 24/7 security starting today as urgent evacuation plans are being put in place. We demand that UNHCR evacuate the LGBTQ plus Block 13 group that is at risk from Kakuma to Nairobi by Thursday, March 18th, and fast track them for expedited resettlement as they are survivors of intense and unending homophobic attacks. We also have one request. We call upon the resettling countries to make your commitments to UNHCR, clear regarding prioritization of LGBTQ plus survivors from Block 13 for expedited resettlement, given the horrific and repeated attacks that put our lives at risk. For some time now, these attacks have been going on, and UNHCR has created the impression that after they evacuated the group of 2018, 2019, homophobia suddenly went through the window. The community that has persecuted the LGBTQ for over 7 years, according to UNHCR, had repented overnight. And they have created the false impression that homophobia is no longer in Kakuma. UNHCR, save us. UNHCR, save us. UNHCR, save us. UNHCR, save us. Free Block 13 from detention. 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 UNHCR, save us. UNHCR, save us. UNHCR, we are human beings. UNHCR, we are human beings. Free Block 13. Free Block 13. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. UNHCR, save us. UNHCR, save us. We call on those that have been following this issue, that have been told lies of how we are safe. Our colleagues were banned beyond recognition. UNHCR has solicited help from some individuals to claim that these things are not serious. Some people that have never even been in Kakuma that have spoken as authority about Kakuma. All those have been planted to make it seem like there is no homophobia. Our colleagues need to be airlifted immediately to Nairobi to save their lives. They would not be in that condition if UNHCR had learned from the previous attacks and not brought any more LGBTQ plus refugees in Kakuma. COVID is a lame excuse. Before COVID came, LGBTQ plus refugees were long brought back to Kakuma. This has to stop. If you're watching the video, look at the extent of the bans. And some shameless individuals will say he burnt himself the entire body. If you have not been in Kakuma, you have no clue. And we can never hope that you understand. Kakuma has no safe place for the LGBTQ plus refugees. How can people be burnt to this extent? And UNHCR issues statements that are very casual. Only one mattress was burnt. They sustained some superficial injuries. The one that was burnt on the 15th of February is still nursing grave injuries. Look at this. What you're seeing on his leg is not a piece of the trouser. That's his skin that has been burnt clean off. He's not wearing a pair of socks. All that is the fire's doing. If you are one of those people that UNHCR has sent one of those useless emails claiming how they have everything in control, how the police is vigilant, that's a load of crap. If they continue to claim that we are safe, despite glaring evidence, then you know who is persecuting us. It's no longer the community that rejected us. It's those that have brought us to their doorsteps. If they have called you aside and said, you keep quiet, don't worry about Kakuma, we are taking charge. They are not taking charge. They have decided, instead of protecting, they will explain. Action is long overdue. We need action. UNHCR, if you have nothing to do, just keep quiet. It doesn't help you and your image to claim you have control when people are being burnt to this extent. We protest the inactivity. We protest the continued misinformation about what is happening in Kakuma. If you're looking at the camera, that space in the iron sheets was created last night as people tried to flee from the fire. A couple of people escaped through the iron sheets. Please, if you're out there and you're watching this, let UNHCR know that their lies are no longer holding ground. Let them know that as an institution mandated to protect, they have no business explaining. Their business is action. We ban day in, day out, and UNHCR is watching. Don't even bother talking to them. Just go out in the streets and show your discontent. We are protesting from the camp. We hope that what you're seeing on this screen is also reason for you to protest this inhumane treatment. We have been stripped of our dignity, a fundamental human right. And they continue to obstruct any that advance with an aim of upholding those rights for us. If UNHCR sends you an email telling you that everything is fine, then now you know the truth. We cannot stay in this place. And unless we are prisoners, we are not going to stay in this camp. We'd rather be arrested and be put in prison. Today, I asked an official from UNHCR and an official from RAS. I asked them, are we prisoners? And their answer was unanimous. No, you're not prisoners. Then how come we are trapped in this hell? If UNHCR has refused to take care of us, they'll probably need to arrest us, because we'll not sit here and die as we watch UNHCR take this casually and approach it with a lot of laxity. We call on the international community to show outrage at this inhumane treatment and challenge UNHCR on their failings. They have not issued a statement that is not a lie. How long and how much do you need to protect 300 refugees? UNHCR is handling crises far bigger than we have here in other countries. We have heard of people talk of underfunding. Is Kenya the only branch of UNHCR that is underfunded? We believe this is a case of negligence and abuse of office. We believe that if you care about human life, you should be equally angry. You should join in protesting. This sort of attitude and non-performance from UNHCR. Recently, they have been boasting of protecting refugees for the last 70 years. Is this the kind of protection that you're offering? If I were you, I'd not even write protecting refugees. You're better off writing disappointing refugees. You're better off saying sacrificing refugees for the last 70 years. Some have thought this is incompetence, but this is a refusal to protect. We call on UNHCR to take immediate action and respect those 3 demands. We hope that immediate action can be taken to protect us from the next attack that could happen in the next 2 or 3 minutes. We hope that action will be taken to transport the severely burned victims for proper treatment out of Kakuma. And we believe that it's imperative that UNHCR gets us out of Kakuma, a place we should never have been, a place they have admitted is unsafe for the queer refugees, and yet a place we find ourselves. If you're looking at that picture, that is how we sleep. That's why it's so easy to burn us. We were promised protection the last time this sort of attack happened last month. And yet our attackers walked in free and set us on fire last night. Lies, misinformation, non-performance, refusal to protect refugees should stop immediately. It should stop immediately. We protest the fact that UNHCR continues to lie that we are safe. Wherever you are, whether in Europe, whether in North and South America, whether you're in Africa, whether you're in Asia, whether you're in the islands in the oceans, join us in expressing outrage at this unacceptable mistreatment of the queer refugees by UNHCR. We are tired of the token meetings, gestures, calling us for a meeting that has no sense whatsoever. If you don't know how to protect refugees, say that and ask other UNHCR officers that have protected refugees. Stop calling us to tell us nothing. And then after you claim, oh, they have refused to talk to the community. You have been engaging the community. How come we are still getting attacked? In your email recently, you claimed that there were positive results. Are these the results you're proud of? Please join us in protesting this unacceptable behavior from UNHCR. Make them uncomfortable and accountable for their decisions. Whatever it is that they take important is certainly not the protection of refugees. We don't care if you give us $1 to buy us things for 4 months. Just give us protection. Or you open the gates and you let us walk away. You will be ashamed if you arrest us for trying to leave and yet you have failed to protect us. We pray that UNHCR comes back to its senses, remembers its duty, and begins doing that duty immediately. If you have failed to offer protection, something for which you solely exist, then say that. But stop claiming the LGBTQ persons are safe. We call on the Rainbow family. That is the response we get if you're looking at the screen. Every time we raise our voices, those sticks are wielded in our faces. We call on the Rainbow family. Let's show solidarity. There have been a few that have found it hard to accept others. But we know here in Block 13 that the bulk of the LGBTQ plus persons will empathize and stand with one another, irrespective of where they are. We call on the Black Lives Movement. This is a Black Lives situation. Some of us are convinced that if we were white, there would be more outrage than we have seen. But who cares about some blacks that are deep in Kakuma, in the most remote part of Kenya? Treat this as a crisis. Your voice can make the difference. UNHCR is accountable to the public. They use your funds. You can ask for accountability of the lives that have been entrusted, starting from the ones that have been burned close to their bones. It's now or never. The lives we have lost in Kakuma are enough. We cannot afford to lose more lives because UNHCR is simply refusing to do their job. How do you afford not to be angry when UNHCR tear gasses a 3-day-old baby? And this baby dies because of this exposure. How can you not be outraged when UNHCR claims that these people are safe and people are being burnt to this extent? How can you sit and take in all that nonsense? How can you not be angry? If you are angry, show them that you're angry and that you're aware that they have failed to do their job. Don't take that, oh, we are doing the best we can. They haven't started to do a single thing. If they had, they wouldn't be on Block 13, being banned from outside. Turukanas will not be coming from the community to come and attack us from here. And they would not be stammering in telling the world what is happening. This is not tension. This is homophobia. I would imagine of all institutions, UNHCR would identify homophobia ahead of others. This is unacceptable. Let them know this is unacceptable. Show them your outrage. At the moment, all we can do is protest from Block 13. But you can protest from where you are. We call on organizations that have taken the role of defending other humans from degrading treatments like this. Now is the time. Now is the time. Your voice could save lives. How do you expect us to go to sleep from what you have seen? Whether we are sleeping outside or some of you are sleeping in the shelters, how do you expect us to sleep outside there? If it were you, would you be able to sleep? How can you let us go through this and silently leave us to UNHCR that has long lost its sense of duty and moral sense. Please, we call on you to join us and protest this degrading, unacceptable treatment of refugees by a body that should be upholding an example in upholding human rights. Please join us in protesting this. UNHCR, save us. UNHCR,
Save us.
UNHCR,
Save us.
UNHCR,
Save us.
free Block 13.
Free Block 13.
Free us from detention.
Free us from detention.
We are human beings.
We are human beings.
UNHCR,
Save us.
save us.
Save us.
It's all we can do. And they will listen and keep quiet. But since you pay for their expensive cars and luxurious life, they might take you serious. All we need is to survive. We are not asking much. Would you join such a cause? If you're looking at the screen, we had a token gesture from UNHCR where they called us for a useless meeting that never had feedback. That's what they do. They call you and pretend to be listening and then do nothing. A whole year passes. We are no longer interested in these token meetings. We want protection. We want protection. That is all. And we are tired of hearing Kenya is the only country that is willing to take you in. Is this the reason they're taking us in? If there is no protection, why do you even highlight that they're the only country? Wouldn't it be better for you to say Kenya is the only country that brings you in to be further persecuted? That would be an accurate statement. Tell the people that, oh, Kenya is the only country that serves queer refugees to others for mistreatment. Others that don't feel have the means to protect, they have not done it. If you're going to give people protection, let it be protection. Let it have that protection. What's the point of saying we are the only one taking you in if we are dying? Are you so proud to bring people to kill them in your compound? If I were you, I would think twice before claiming that. If we are asylum seekers, we pray that this is asylum, not detention. UNHCR,
Save us.
UNHCR,
Save us.
UNHCR,
Save us.
free us from detention.
Free us from detention.
Free us from bondage.
Free us from bondage.
We are human beings.
We are human beings.
This is too much.
This is too much.
We are tired of burning as UNHCR is watching.
We are tired of dying as UNHCR is watching.
UNHCR, save us.
Save us.
Woman here was one of the people that awoke to an explosion.
Hi everyone. I'm Umar here at Block 13, and what happened yesterday, like today morning, because it was at around 2 a.m. It really shocked me because we were sleeping deep in sleep, and then we just had something like explosive, and then everyone woke up trying to save his or her life, and then we saw some of our colleagues running with fire, and we tried to help them, put dust on them so that they can be saved. Then, like, I don't know how I can even explain this, but I saw him that running with fire. Then I tried to rush to him so that I can save him. And then I pushed him, he fell down. Then we collected like soil to put it on him, but I tried to remove the pants from him, and then the skin was peeling off. This really shocked me because this has never happened to us before. But we call upon you next year, please. We want you to airlift these two victims. At least they can be taken to good hospitals for proper treatment. For now, at least that is needed, because here the hospitals are not like, they're not treating them well, and the injuries are serious. And then at least what I'm asking for is if you next year can like airlift the whole group of Block 13 or even other LGBTIs in Kakuma to any transit or reception or anywhere we can be safe and protected. And we need help, we need protection here next year. We need to be safe. We are going to die in this camp. That's my message to you and everyone. Please try to fight for us. We are not safe.
Hi everyone. This is Wabula Juliet here at Block 13. I feel I'm speechless. Waking up and finding someone burnt all his body on fire. I'm just wondering why UNHCR is not doing anything about this. We've been held here hostages for now 1 year, sleeping right here, right in this place, getting these very problems all the time. But what UNHCR can say is that they are providing us every necessary needs that we are supposed to be having. But right now, whoever is watching this, just imagine if UNHCR cannot help us and if they can do nothing at all, why are they holding us here hostages? We can let us go and maybe go anywhere where we can get help from. Just imagine if that fire was got in small children. Just look, these are children who were sleeping next to that place which was, but just imagine if it were they. Would we be having any child right now? UNHCR, you are human like us. What differentiates you from us is because you are in your country and you have your rights, but you are just asylum seekers who also have life, who want to live a whole life like you. But just assume it was your family or your relatives or anything, would you be writing the same thing? We've been crying this, we've said everything that is supposed to be said. But what we can say is save us from this, that's all. And you know that we are powerless because you denied us to be anyone right here. What should we do? We call upon the world. Whoever is watching this, whoever has power, who can write to UNHCR or say anything which can help Block 13. We are not safe at Block 13. And we are not ready to be here because we are human. We deserve life like other human beings. We have children. We have people. We have life. We also need to be in life like other people. We watch you guys pass around with these posh cars. everything you feel like someone needs to be having in life. But why don't you think of us? We also deserve to live like any other person. Free Block 13 UNHCR.
Free Block 13.
I just wonder. I wish I had power. I wish I could do something about you. I would also get those families and put them here with me and see how hard it is to live in hell when the people who are responsible to help you are there watching you die. We are perishing. We call upon Black Lives Matters to come, to do something, to write or to do anything. All organizations who have voices, because we are voiceless, we can't say anything, and they're here. We need a voice. All people out there who are well wishers, all our family, our tribe who can fight for us, please fight for us because we are dying. We are dying. Every attack which comes is always bigger than the previous one. Now, what will come next if we remain in this place? This is too much. We need to get out of here. Free us Block 13 from this hell.
Free Block 13.
Free Block 13.
Free Block 13.
Hi everyone. I'm very surprised to see someone burning as if it is a bush. I want to ask only UNHCR if this is the protection which has gave us people from Block 13, if this is the protection. This kind of protection is like a person who is in the prison. Let the UNHCR take us to Lodwar prison. I think there we shall be good. No one will come and burn us. No one will come and, oh God. No one will come and burn us there, really. If you're there in the prison, no one will come and rape us. And UNHCR said that, telling people that they have given us people of Block 13 protection. What kind of protection has he given us? If people are burning like this, let us be raped. You can't walk even. Children cannot go even to school. Our children are just at home. What kind of protection is UNHCR giving us? Even I can't say anything. That one is enough for UNHCR. Let us all of us die. Let us die, all of us. UNHCR, we can't say that protect us or give us free. Give us. I can't say like that. I can't. Kill us. Let us all of us die. Because in Uganda, we can't go back. We can't go back to our country. You know that where we are here. And if you take it as if you are gaining on us, really, even God will see you. I have nothing to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you, everyone. They took the time to listen and set the time aside. We sincerely hope that the protest that we have done on Block 13 will highlight not only to UNHCR that immediate action is needed, but also to those that value human life, irrespective of the sexuality, to join us in protesting this unacceptable treatment from UNHCR. Together we can bring them to account. Together we can reject their lies. and ask them for what exactly they have done. We can demand for protection. We need a huge and loud voice. By joining together and protesting this sort of behavior from UNHCR, we are closer to getting protection for Block 13. We pray that you will not tire out as lives depend on your voice. Please join any protection, be it virtual, be it physical, and let's together challenge UNHCR and challenge them for their negligence and deliberate sacrificing of the LGBTQ plus refugees here in Kakuma and Block 13. Together we can have them take action. Don't underestimate your voice. You have a gift. You have a possession that we don't have. We don't have even the freedom of movement. A lot of our colleagues have signed documents that stop them from posting or even talking about the attacks in Kakuma. A few of us have refused to sign them, and we continue to challenge UNHCR on failing to uphold morality and protecting not refugees just from attacks, but also from predators that are using them to make themselves well. Join us in fighting all this evil, this cocktail of vices that UNHCR has unleashed upon us. Thank you so much, Victor J. Mukasa. Thank you everybody who tuned in and followed this protest. We hope that this is just the beginning and we'll continue to inform the masses and people elsewhere, governments and institutions, that something is wrong in UNHCR and needs to be addressed immediately. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for giving us this platform.
Thank you very much, Block 13. Thank you so much, all those who have joined us at this protest. In way of amplifying the voice of Block 13, Block 13 to UNHCR is asking you to come to the rescue of two of their colleagues who are still stuck in Clinic 7 at Kakuma Refugee Camp with severe burns across their bodies, as we have seen during this protest. Block 13 is asking UNHCR, they are asking you to get them out of Block 13. In the interim, place them somewhere, say the transit center, as you organize their evacuation, immediate evacuation from Kakuma Refugee Camp, which is extremely homophobic and very hostile to LGBTQ plus individuals. They are asking you to evacuate them and provide them with safety. And to the resettling countries out there, Block 13 is requesting you to work with UNHCR and request for some of them or all of them to be resettled in your countries. As Kakuma Refugee Camp and Kenya in general is not welcoming to LGBTQ plus refugees. The woman you saw speaking in a yellow dress is not LGBT herself. She's an ally. Somebody who has been raped and horribly abused because of protecting LGBTI people. We have allies at Block 13 who are not LGBT, but just because they have hidden children and women in their houses during a violent attack, they have been punished by the homophobes. None of these people deserve to be in such a hostile environment. Block 13 also calls for international outrage. It is time for all of us to act. We cannot sit comfortably wherever we are, be it in our offices, in our homes, wherever we are, when this is happening to humanity. We need to speak out for all humanity, whether they are refugees or not. Refugees are human beings, and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights provides for them too. The human rights that we enjoy elsewhere should be the same human rights that LGBTQ refugees should enjoy. The right to life is for all humanity. And to protect that right, UNHCR, you have been asked to rise up to this occasion and save LGBT human beings, for they are human beings. You received them in Kenya because you were saving them from homophobes, from death, from discrimination in their home countries. Now you cannot look on while this is happening. The time for misinformation about them doing this to themselves has ended. There is no way that they burnt themselves last night to just get you to rush. There is no way that they rape each other just to convince you to move their processes. Those have been lies about LGBTQ refugees in Kakuma Camp. They are not safe and they need immediate evacuation. They need movement passes to get out of that camp. They wanted to leave even today and walk out of the camp, and the policeman told them they will be arrested. So even when they try to save their own lives, they are punished for that. UNHCR, free LGBTQ plus refugees in Kakuma Camp, wherever they are, whether they are on Block 13 or elsewhere in Kakuma Camp. It is a highly dangerous, very hostile environment for LGBTQ plus refugees and their known allies. Thank you very much, everybody who is watching.